What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only, Ash said it. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. Welcome to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. I appreciate you guys for all of your love and support. Over 1,600 episodes and 500,000 streams worldwide. None of this would be possible without you guys, so I thank you so very, very much. And yes, it is almost summertime. The kiddies are almost out from school. And I know a lot of you parents, you need to get the kids into stuff. Every summer, Mama Breezy, she would always make sure that we had some activity books or something going on because she was not playing with us. So today I've got with me author and creator himself, the wonderful Michael Gurgenti. Hey, Michael.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, Michael, what part of the country are you at right now?
I am currently in California. I've been bouncing between Florida and California.
Wow.
The warm states.
Warm states. That's quite the jump there, Mike. You got to be careful and make sure that you're in the right time zone and all that stuff.
Exactly. Sometimes it can get a little hectic. I'm originally from Chicago, though.
See, gotcha. Best of both worlds there. All right, so, Michael, when did you begin writing?
I began writing at a very early age. I'd say like 12. And originally, the writing it began in the form of songwriting. In the earlier years, I had passions and dreams to pursue the whole, music, entertainment world. And over time, it kind of transpired into more stories. And even though a lot of songs and some of our favorite artists, sing stories sometimes, essentially, I realized that, it was always more heavier on the story side. Mm-hmm. And when I got out to California from Chicago, I started to explore, screenwriting, like trying to attempt to write movie scripts. And I just realized that at the end of the day, whether I was putting all this energy or creativity in songs or movies, I just knew writing was it. But I didn't really know what it maybe should be. Not that it had to be focused on something, but for many, many years, I just had these little kid stories, characters, ideas, but just didn't know what to do with them because I feel like animation sometimes, scares people and I don't know, and even just producing kids books, like just anything in the children's world can be or seem overwhelming. And like most people, I didn't know where to start, what to do, and I'm just like, I'll just write these stories and hold them. Mm-hmm. So for a long time, I was just holding these stories, and when the pandemic/lockdown hit everybody, obviously it gave us a lot of time to reevaluate, self-reflect, and I was just kind of digging into what I should maybe focus on. And because the writing has always been there, the only thing that was kind of in the shadows that I hadn't put light on was these kid stories. And I was like, you know what? I think it's time. So the lockdown/pandemic is what kind of created and made that extra push to, throw those other ideas out there. And it's been over 15 years or so. I recently just I turned 35, so definitely got nice little chunk of time on the belt since being 12. So, but yeah, writing's always kind of been there, and it's been fun, going through the ups and downs and just curves of it all,
Okay. So let's talk about the first project that you released amid the pandemic, and you're going through all of your essentially archive of stories and things. So what was that first project that you worked on?
So that's an interesting story because I had a bunch of stuff already written on top of creating new stories and ideas and characters and such, and it was more of what should be first, what should be, released first. And it was interesting because, having so many, archived concepts and stuff, it was hard to pick, because it was like, you're trying to compare stories to other stories. You're trying to figure out what's, better than the other one. And I kind of, I don't want to say I don't know how I picked the one that I did, because the first book that started it all is a book titled Otters, and it's also probably the most popular. And I always joke with people, I'm like, I don't know if it's the most popular because it's like everyone's favorite and it's the best one, or if it's because it was the first one. But I ended up just picking the Otters just because I felt like there wasn't a lot of stories or adventures based around that animal, and it had like a lot of aspects to it that I felt like the people would gravitate to or attach to, just in regards to like surviving and just relying on family and friends, and it just felt real appropriate. And on top of them being like really cute, I just was like, you know what, let's roll the dice on the Otters. And it was probably the smartest thing for sure I ever did in regards to choosing their character. I'm really proud of those guys. The little Otters.
Otters are interesting. I'd say they're definitely interesting. I found out, and this is just a random just fact that I found out. I found out that beavers are really mean. Have you ever heard that?
I have not. Maybe. That's so interesting, because maybe they are. Maybe they just want to like attack everything. I don't know.
I don't know what I was watching or what clip that I saw on social media, but they were like, the beavers, like they're like, because you see, like I remember growing up, like seeing beavers, like they're like floating on the water and they're like holding hands, they're like in love. But like evidently they can be very like brutal and stuff. I was like, really? I was like, they're beavers. And so it's so random and just ridiculous. You should Google it later. Google it later on.
I was just gonna say, I know exactly what I'm looking up after we hang out. So I'm researching
this. Insane. That was just such a random fact. And you're talking about otters, and they're so cute and so yeah. Beavers, I hear they're mean. I hear they are not nice. But that's
I am going to investigate immediately.
Please do. That may be the makings of a horror story if it's true. All right, so I'm just putting that out into the universe.
Yeah, somebody get Spielberg on that one. He did it with sharks. He could do it with a beaver.
Dude, insane. All right, so where were you when you found out that you heard that Royalty Brown, Chris Brown's daughter, had gotten a hold of your books and loved, what was it, the Strawberry Pencil Magic? Strawberry Pencil Magic? Is that
yes.
Yes.
So I remember exactly where I was. I was in Hollywood, California, in the apartment that I was staying in at the time, and a PR rep, like I'm assuming it was their like PR people or something. It was kind of like, I don't want to say surreal because I feel like that sounds cliche, but it was definitely one of those moments where it's like you get the phone call, or it was a DM at first, and it was like, hey, I'm so and so, Royalty Brown, Chris Brown's daughter, loves your books. Like, let's try to find a way to collaborate. And I remember at first, just like probably most people, just assuming or thinking or expecting this is a scam. Mm-hmm. Like this is just like someone's trying to siphon money from me. Like, yeah, okay. And then I asked or requested to hop on a phone call, and they were all about it, and I could tell right away that this wasn't a joke. And then I proceeded just to ask, my little questions about like anyone, like, well, how did she find the books, because it's not like the Strawberry Pencil Magic books are exactly Disney books yet. Right. But, it was just like, I was just like in disbelief. And then she said that they had came across it on Instagram, good old infamous Instagram. And wow. I guess they just kind kind of rolled the dice on it in regards to, they saw, like, I don't know, one of the posts and thought it was cool and just wanted to check it out and ordered one, and that was it. It was like, I guess, supposedly Royalty and her sister, Sinatra, they love him. They love him, and it came to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to send samples. I was like, I would love to send boxes to them if they're willing to, you know, just keep reading. That's really what I wanted, was just them just to keep reading.
Yeah.
And they gave me the information, and I just started sending books, and now I'd like to say, you know, I have a really good relationship with Royalty's mom, Nia, and the PR girl, Carissa, and they've been great. And I know Royalty's birthday's coming up, and we've even I don't want to say joke, but yeah, kind of like bounced ideas about maybe, you know, sponsoring the birthday and making sure like all the kids get books, and kind of like just keep pushing it and passing it forward.
Yeah, I think children literacy is very, very important. And the fact that kids her age are excited to look at books, because I don't know about you, but the kids that I'm around and the kids that I've seen lately, a lot of them, maybe because of the pandemic, are just so stuck in TV. They're stuck in their video games. They're, you know, they've got the app. They're on IG, you know. So books are really not as cool an option as they once were. So that's amazing that that kids are reading. We need these kids to be literate and be reading and get excited about reading again. So I love that.
I agree, and exactly that. And they're ordering I'm sending them the paperbacks, like you said, like the physical copy, like that. Of course, you know, there's digital versions, but they want and use the physical ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it makes a difference.
It's beautiful. I agree. It's a whole other experience, like holding the book.
It is. So, Michael, now that we're into June, we're into the wonderful month of June. What is this month's book release?
This month's book release is it's titled Seals of Approval. And it's pretty much about this little crew of like Italian SEALs. Pretty much, I don't want to say mobsters, because that's so like not kid like, but you know, like they're pretty much like an Italian family of SEAls who like protect the Arctic, and they provide a lot of different you know, services throughout the Arctic and the Arctic animals, and it's almost like, I don't want to say satire, but like it's comedic in the sense of like anything that happens in the Arctic, you have to get the seal of approval, you know, quote unquote. But it's like this cute, like Italian kind of heritage-ish kind of story pun on, you know, what's really going on in the Arctic with these seals.
Yeah, wow. That sounds sensational. And Michael, where can people pick up these books?
They can pick them up on several platforms. They can go to barnesandnoble.com and search Strawberry Pencil Magic. They can go to amazon.com and search Strawberry Pencil Magic, or whatever specific book title you're in search of. And of course, the ultimate place, www.strawberrypencilmagic.com, which will give you the Barnes & Noble links, the Amazon links, and any other direct links.
Gotcha. Perfection. Michael, thank you so much for coming through today. We appreciate you beyond words. And of course,
thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Not a problem. And much more success, of course, on the next book and the following books, because you guys are releasing books monthly, correct? Every month there's going to be a feature book?
Yes, correct. Strawberry Pencil Magic at the moment is releasing one book a month, one new adventure a month.
Yes, I love it. Love it. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do. You look them square in the face, you tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it magic, and watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Till next time, you guys.